Bye.
All right, Doug.
Yeah. If there's any just like small chunk of fucking outlandishness of me going rah, 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 that you just put in like a fucking 3-second clip.
Oh, it'll definitely be. I know exactly what it is.
Your team suck and my Cardinals are great. I'm gonna start to slowly undress, and you're gonna decide what time does this podcast end. Cause I'm gonna do bop a do bop, have a home mile, hoop up a little.
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
Hey, kids.
Hey, Brian.
Hi.
Waiting for Doug to unmute.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Tracy, you look amazing at this time of the morning.
I can't believe you actually made her get up.
I didn't make her
I was
get
up. I just don't look like it.
We're still kind of on East Coast time.
Mhm.
Really?
Well, yeah.
I'm getting
I
up
mean,
at like 6:30.
that's why I'm getting up early. So
Yep. Just not getting
Like-
dressed.
Yeah, you want to get in that guest house before the heat of the day.
what for?
Whenever you work on it.
I don't know. Baseboard,
Oh, yeah.
all stuff I'm learning on YouTube tutorial videos while I'm abroad.
Okay. So you're doing DIY how-to videos?
Yep, all day,
Yes.
all night.
And he's
It's
also
going-
learning the harpsichord.
Oh, that's
Yep.
so.
It's going so
Sophisticated.
well over there. You're picking up a trade.
Mhm.
Well, let's say we have to pick up a trade. That's what we've learned.
Yeah, we're drug smugglers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it bears mentioning that we tried to do this 2 days ago, and we also tried to do it yesterday. 2 days ago, you guys came in hot.
I that was the only time I hit a breaking point during this tour. And it was one thing I even had it written down. Don't get that one hangover that you can't recover from. And fortunately, I had it on the one day off. Thankfully, the Queen died, so I had that day off because I went to bed high, like eating edibles, going into bed already high, eating them to be high, and then waking up and eating edibles on my way to the bathroom to piss. And I slept till like 2 p.m. hard. And then Brian came in my room where we had a 5 or 6 o'clock podcast. And 4 p.m, he's breaking open cookies. You want half? And I'm like, okay. I didn't eat anything. So by the time I was done that other podcast, I was flung.
Flung.
Yeah, we got done with the well, I mean, I called it, I had an audible. I turned to Tracy, I go, we got to get out of here. Like soft, way softer than that. And Doug's like, yeah, get out of here. Why are we still doing this? I'm like, well, we're doing this because we need to close this because you've told the same story 3 times after each break.
I thought it was 4.
Well, I stopped before he went into the other one. I go, I just feel like after this break, we're just going to go right back into the same part of the first break. The A part, the A block was completely repeated in the B and C block.
I was shattered. Yeah. Yeah. Brian asked me the next day, do we think we should just redo that one? I go, I think it's fine. Or Chaille would have said something.
Well, and then I went back and I watched it, Brian, after we kind of scheduled something to go to take its place. I mean, I was all for just not even saying that ever happened. But then when I under the context of what was going on and everything, it was actually pretty funny to watch. I'd probably have to do some voiceovers to give people kind of
Voiceovers.
Context.
a little voiceover, like. And by the way, this is Doug, all night doing edibles, and what happened at the show, or just add a little context to it, But yeah,
we've been
I'm fine
high
with this.
every day of the except for the Dublin. But once we got to Nottingham, and the guy cooked a bunch of edibles, we have been high for every show, every day. Nice train rides.
Yeah, but we should probably bleep that little bit about where we got the edibles. Let's just say we had an able baker.
Good call.
Yeah, it's weird. It's illegal over here.
I know.
That's
Otherwise, and it's
so I was
very
telling
bizarre because
Hennigan how funny it would be if we're down to our crumbs before we fly tomorrow. So we're gonna have to count on the kindness of strangers on the last couple gigs. But yeah, tomorrow morning we're gonna sprinkle the crumbs in our porridge or our cereal at breakfast and eat them before the plane.
Right
But
on.
that would be like the weakest fucking 1972 drug bust is me and Hennigan get busted. Like every rock and roll star ever that got busted with weed at Heathrow. But we have gummies.
Yeah. Or a gummy wrapper.
Yeah.
Evidence
We'll
of
have
a
to-
crime.
Yeah.
we'll have to make up for it with the ferocity of our resistance to arrest.
Yeah. You have to get some kind of
Fight
fisticuffs.
hard.
Yeah.
Just trying to no, eat it quick before the cops come, and you get a mouthful of fucking gummy bears gnawing on them. But yeah, I mean, it's still the UK, but it's that weed, that whole, like, I'm a different fucking man. I'm like high on stage, like high all day and then high on stage. And for the most part, it's been a lot of fun.
I can vouch for the fact that Doug is a changed man in terms of having been with him on every single UK tour or presence ever. Doug is very different when he has access to it.
Wow.
It's like-
And you know what would help? A fucking elevator. The last 2 nights, the fucking one night that it was 5 flights of stairs to get to the green room. Last night was 4 flights of stairs to get to the green room.
No,
Fortunately, they both had like a little smoking deck, which is
Yeah.
rare over here. We get fucking so lucky with our venues in the States that let me smoke here. They follow the fucking rules, and they have a very inordinate amount of people that are fucked up in wheelchairs and leg braces for having no elevators. Because the green room last night, that bathroom was like so handy-capable. It was like a rock climbing wall. There's nothing that a handicapped person couldn't grab onto at some point in some angle and save his life, but he'd have to get his wheelchair up 5 flights of stairs.
Yeah. How do you get there to begin
Yeah.
with?
Yeah, and they actually told us that the elevators were out of operation.
Oh, so they do have them
Yeah, but they're out of operation.
permanently.
Well, I should say we tried to do a podcast yesterday from the green room at the aforementioned
That's right.
elevatorless venue, and the Wi-Fi was
Just
well,
log on to Cardiff free Wi-Fi. If you want to get out of doing your podcast, just Cardiff free.
Yeah, free
Wi-Fi.
Cardiff Wi-Fi for when you don't want to make that call.
Free.
We got to see Dennis from.
Oh yeah, we saw
Dr. Brooks.
that.
Yeah, it was so great.
That's
He's
so
such a
exciting.
sweetheart, and
He is a very charming guy.
I bet.
yes, his wife Claire,
Oh, cool.
and then the
Claire's-
Mrs. Duders came, Gina, and she brought a gal pal, and our old friend Lena G, who covered Bingo's song "I Like Your Toes."
That was she was there for 2 nights.
Yeah, she came the first night when I was outside. That was the only bad show I had, was the Hammersmith show.
that was the
And,
night you said someone was crying, and it turned out to be her.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was outside my little smoking area, and she came up crying, and now I'm used to it since Emily. I think Lena's come before, I thought. I don't know.
Oh, I'm
But
sure
probably
she must
crying.
have. She must have. And then, of course, we met Dara O'Brien from your famous
And
appearance.
Glenn Wool.
Glenn Wool.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So the backstage at the second London show, which was the O2 Forum in Kentish Town, that was as busy as we've ever been on any gig ever, and there was like 12 people. And I said to one of the people there, "This is the busiest backstage we've had on the entire tour, and they were like, "What?"
What do you mean you had 12 people?
12.
Like,
Well, there's like Dennis and Claire.
Oh, guests.
And
Yeah, okay.
guests, you
Like,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, other than that,
Like-
it's been pretty much just me and Hennigan.
Yeah.
Bobby Mayer did open the Hammersmith show.
But he came alone.
Yeah.
Like a professional.
That's right. I mean, we should probably go back and do a little bit of like Dublin. The whole thing started in Dublin, which was great. I mean, as you know, I hate the Irish, but they are a great crowd. You know.
Yeah, and it was Garth Brooks was doing 5 nights in Dublin, so the entire town was fucking redneck Irish people, like slappers with a pink cowboy hats on. It was ferocious. It was everywhere.
And we
And
learned
we're
a new-
staying at like a Hard Rock hotel or something, which you might as well been at a fucking Margaritaville or something. You know that's where these fucking people are going. It's a Hard Rock.
but oh shit, I was gonna, what the fuck did I was about to say about Garth Brooks people? I can't remember what it was. Anyway, everyone was very pleasant. That was very nice. Also, we are unexpectedly
Pleasant to people.
found a really good Italian restaurant.
In Dublin?
Yeah, like really good.
We've been eating pretty much margarita pizza, cheese pizza
Yeah.
every
Yes.
fucking night.
I would say that's the tour staple.
And
Oh,
chicken
boy.
fingers. I mean chicken
Chicken-
wings.
Chicken wings. Chicken wings. Yeah.
I have a question about the Dublin gig. That was the start of the UK gig, and
No. It was the start of the UK and Ireland tour.
UK and Ireland. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
And it was on September 11th. Was there any anything brought up about that, or was there any? Sorry for your
Well, it was
loss.
the first. It was the first night of the tour. So just like anyway, I was throwing fucking all the spaghetti against the wall to see
Yeah.
what's not going to work for references over here. But I'm sure I got to 9/11 at some point. But
I think
fucking
you did
great
an hour.
audience. Even Manchester, even Dublin and Manchester, fucking polite, which is so unlike them.
Manchester, huh?
Even getting down
The,
to
the
where
Manchester
I knew
audience was
Irish.
great.
Yeah.
Wow. Good
It's
on.
the new normal, huh?
Yeah, the only one that sucked was the Hammersmith, of course, the biggest one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That was your first London.
I was too
But that-
high for that big a room. I went out there and it was a weekend. We avoid working weekends in London because they're fucking everyone's out of their mind. Weekends over here suck because they mean too much to people. So we had Sunday, Monday booked. The fucking Queen dies,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then so they moved the Monday to a Tuesday because they made the fucking Monday a national holiday, which made the Sunday a fucking weekend. So I went out high to the fucking 3,000 seater and people from the back screaming, "Make fun of the Queen."
3-day
Hey.
weekend crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were demanding jokes on a certain subject.
Well, then I got back and I was really high and I logged in a little bit to Twitter and some guy was shitting on me and saying the show's a shambles. And then other people were chiming in saying the crowd was fucked. And then a lady started defending the guy who had kept yelling. I mean, when I get off stage, this guy just kept talk about the Queen. Where's the jokes about the Queen? To the point when I came off stage, they go, "Yeah, we told that guy like 7 times to shut up." I'm like, well, maybe after your fucking 3rd time, he wasn't really
Yeah, check him
listening. Or
out.
How about 6? Have
Yeah.
6 be the limit. I mean, come on.
But then some lady on Twitter is defending. In his defense, Doug could have done some jokes about the Queen and shut him up.
Oh, it's your job to shut up, an idiot.
And
Dance
talked about
monkey.
the elephant
Yeah.
in the room. And wait, I should have.
You wouldn't have
What
shut
if,
up.
what if he was yelling, "Suck my dick"? Should I have?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how much could it hurt Doug Stanhope to take 1 minute to suck his dick so we can go on with the show? She said he's had a week to write jokes about the Queen, like on a deadline for the topic. That's the elephant in your room, lady.
Yeah.
There's no elephant in
Like-
my fucking room. That's a
Mm.
cock block to my fucking Monday gig.
If they want Queen jokes, go to an open mic.
Yeah.
Or go on fucking social media where there was nothing but 10 days of constant nonstop jokes about the fucking Queen. You think I'm gonna compete with the fucking?
We're trying to run a business here, lady.
Yes. Yeah. If you want the free shit, go on Twitter.
And then we took a 5-hour car drive to Southampton.
Hey, let's get to that when we come back after a quick break.
Oh yes. Oh, please hold.
World record, certified back checker, beaming with the pressure. Hey Tracy, a record, chuckle with the pleasure. We never making errors. Catch us every Tuesday, the best podcast ever. The World Record Podcast, everybody. Check it out on your favorite streaming site. We've got it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Patreon. Check us out somewhere. It'll be a good time.
I have my, I don't know if this is going out as video.
Yes. To
it is,
Patreon only.
All right.
That's why I look this good.
Yeah, because I have that my week off between now and going to the southeast. I got my football schedule. I get in on Wednesday night. So Thursday night football, I'm in that bed behind you with Bingo and probably Kenny, because Thursday night football is going to be Dolphins at the Bengals.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And then on Sunday, there's going to be a London game. So I'll be up at fucking 6 a.m. out there. I'll just stay out there and I'll maybe set all the TVs to come on with an alarm at 6, whatever, because it's going to be Vikings Saints.
For him.
And then that goes into all day football, and I'm going to be in that fucking bed for all of them.
I think we have F1 that weekend too.
All right.
Sure. I think,
Don't stop it.
Brian,
Do not ever say F1.
Why
Formula
not?
One?
It's Formula One. That's
Their
like
logo is an F1.
No, don't ever say.
You're telling me their logo is not an F and a number 1.
I don't want to hear it.
All right. Well,
Like
you know what?
it's Formula One.
All my
It's like
friends
when
all my friends in Frisco call it F1. So
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
like
when-
Frisco
it's like
and
that-
Cali?
It's
Over
like
in
that
Cali?
No, it's like that stupid Americanism of, hey, they got a PK. Fuck off. It's a penalty. Don't call it a PK.
Oh, from the goalie?
yeah.
All right, Brian.
this is the most Brian and I have talked.
Aw.
So you're
really.
gonna tell us about a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, the 5
yeah.
hour. Well, we had a 5-hour ride to Southampton to kill time, do the show, and then take a 2-hour drive into London right after the show, so we could get in, late at night, during the Queen shit under the cover of darkness. So finally, because I've been literally, that music thing is just getting so out of fucking control everywhere.
You have to explain the music thing because that was on the
Well,
podcast.
yeah,
that didn't
well,
exist.
I fucking hate music, and I'm trying to think all the time, and everywhere you go, and it's so bad over here. You have to pay for your music over here. Like all the shit we play pre-show, you can't
in
do
the
that.
States.
And they want a fucking 4.5% of the gate.
If you play music.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the gross sales they want
yeah.
if you play your own copyright music.
So one
Stuff
of the
that's
guys
licensed.
here, Hennigan told him what we're looking for, some kind of public domain, just stupid shit and pomp and circumstance, whatever. And this guy found some old like 80s elevator music, like and they play that before the show, and it fucking kills me. It's so good.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So it's
like
like
the-
Muzak, but 80s.
The
too?
cheesiest of Muzak, like when
Yeah.
Muzak first started, little Spanish bee kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I would say, here's an interesting thing, because Doug alluded to it on the previous, like, aborted podcast. It was the first time I've ever done this, which was, and I understand why Doug's doing it, and therefore I didn't mind doing it. but to lean into someone in a car and say, we would like to drive without music in total silence. When you're saying it, that's when you actually become aware of how awkward a conversation this is. Because until I said it, I didn't realize what it felt like. And it really is, you're shutting down someone's world.
Yeah, this guy's got to
Inner
he's got to
barrier.
do that 5-hour drive, and I assume drive 5 hours back in the same day. And not only did Brian say, yes, we'd just like to do the ride with no music in silence, and he said, okay. And then you would assume it's because we have business meetings and fucking shit on the phone. Then we proceed to not speak a word to each other for 5 hours, except
without being asleep.
Yeah, awake.
Wow.
And not occasionally you said, did you want to stop to piss? And that was the one time. Other than that, no conversations.
5 hours, you stopped once to pee?
Yeah.
Oh man. Not even like road snacks or anything. I mean,
we weren't drinking anything.
Well, yeah, but still,
probably
I mean,
high.
we always get drinks on the road.
But we're pretty high.
Okay.
But seriously, I even assumed that I would fall asleep, and I didn't. And so I'd look around at Doug and see he wasn't asleep. And I was thinking, I just thought of the poor driver who thought, well, if they don't want music, they're probably going to have some very interesting conversations.
Nope. But then the guy for the second drive, his whole ride was tricked out with like neon tubing going through the interior of his car. You know, he's like just hoping to pick up chicks that are drunk after raves and get laid.
Cruising on a Friday night on Whittier Boulevard.
When he heard fucking Silent for his trip, because he had his fucking dance beats going when he picked us up, and he was not happy. And then he brought us to the wrong fucking Hilton, the wrong location, and then just took our bags out and said, well, this is what it says. This is where it says it is. I'm like, they're saying this is not the Hilton. And he just chucked our bags out, and then we had to walk in the middle of the night to the other.
Now you can walk in silence to the wrong hotel.
Yeah. In crowded silence of fucking Queen mourners that fucking last call. But no one really fucking mourned the Queen. No one cares anywhere.
We had a minute silence.
Yeah, there was a national minute of silence.
UK, right?
Yeah, and Bobby Mayer, that's one of the few times we've had the support act. Bobby Mayer was going to have to go out immediately following the 1 minute of silence at 8 o'clock. And then he was all prepared for it, but they didn't get silent. They made the announcement, and the entire crowd just kept talking at fucking, wedding reception levels. They didn't even hear the announcement, I don't think, much less care. So Bobby had spent a fucking hour preparing what he was going to say, having to follow a minute of silence, but then they fucked him again.
Oops.
Yeah. And also, let's not forget, Doug, the unique outside doorbell in Southampton.
Yeah. Because all of these are fucking, again, these 5-story, they're old theaters and old buildings. We're outside smoking in Southampton, and if there's one of those where you have to put your cigarette pack or something, jimmy the door open so you don't get locked out, because if you do, you'd have to go around this whole giant fucking castle to get back to the front. But there's a bell. When we did get locked out, there's a bell up top. It said old doorbell, like 1900s doorbell, that it said push here for boiler operator. Boiler room operator.
What?
And we did eventually push it, but no boiler operator.
Nobody showed up.
I bet you that's for to notify the guy running the boiler that there's a coal delivery.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he probably looked on the camera and saw there was no coal delivery and thought, those pesky kids.
These fuckers messing around with my coal delivery button.
Yeah.
Well, that was Southampton. What about Sheffield? I was curious about that.
I would say the only thing is what's important is you have to understand, if you're arriving into Sheffield, you're gambling with your life, because only 50% of taxi drivers can take credit cards.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
No, that's what we got. We took some cab to minor distance, and Brian gives him a credit card. He goes, "Oh, you don't have cash?" He goes, "No, I'm sorry, just a credit card." "Oh, well, you need to know, only half of cab drivers here even take credit cards. Like, you should always have cash." Like, no, that's why everyone takes a fucking Uber, slapstick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking,
And also, what made it even more ironic was he dropped us at the Novotel Central Sheffield, which is a cashless hotel. You literally cannot give them money. So it's like, get your fucking town in order, Sheffield,
Wow.
Oh.
or you won't be seeing us again.
So, Doug, we've talked about on the podcast at length of our process of going to the gig early, so you can sit in the green room if there's a green room, and like the process. Is there anything different about the process before the show in the UK that's different from what we do over here in the US?
well, I've never been high for a whole tour.
Yeah.
By the way,
So-
Chaille, this is going to be good for you, I assure you.
I don't understand.
Yeah, we have to look at what states we're playing on the Southeast tour that are recreational legal, medical legal,
On it.
illegal.
Yeah. Tracy will have a list. And this is going out to the US. So we're going to have some help. We need more guidance than just tell them this if you get pulled over. We don't want that. We want to see something that says it's legal. We can't. No offense to Medusa Farms. Their heart was in the right
Oh
place.
yeah,
But
and
we
that
had
one-
enough that we would have been busted for distribution.
Yeah, it was. There was one place where I said, I think it was what's her name, the Charlene. I go, so is it legal in New York? And she goes, well, it's kind of weird. Well, that means no.
That's no.
Yeah, it's you can grow 6 plants. Oh, I'm not starting a farm. I'm here for 4 nights.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. There was one place where it was legal to grow plants before you could buy or sell it. It was
Yeah.
like a year, 6 months or a year that you could have plants but not buy or sell weed.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
weird.
Germination time.
At some point, I mean, there's a lot of the aspects of the high thing that where I go, it kind of does like what alcohol does, where, okay, I'm tired of saying a lot of this shit, but when I'm high, I'm like more motivated to riff on stuff. Sometimes too motivated to riff too much down fucking dead end streets. But
Maybe reel that.
but
in.
I know that I gotta just kind of stick to a script while I'm here. I mean, I can riff within the material, but fucking getting high makes it more fun to do. But I gotta stick. I can't start trying to write new bits while I'm over here. Like that's always my fucking hang up is, oh, did I already do this bit last time? So yeah, stick with the shit that we're fucking unloading. It's the last call for a couple of these bits that I fucking love doing, but I've done them everywhere in the States, and I'll do them here in Canada and Australia.
A great not bit, but let's call it a tool you have is the separate lists. The
yeah.
high list.
Yes, the pocket, breast pocket, and the back pocket or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, when I get back there, I'm gonna have to just fucking connoiter everything in my act again to get rid of the stuff that I've already done in the Southeast and go back to what we were doing when we left New York and Connecticut. But again, as soon as I leave a UK tour, it's fucking like someone attached 1,000 helium balloons to my jacket, and I'm just walking on sunshine. Everything's easy. It's like over here, it's the on deck plate where you have the fucking 3 weights on your bat.
Yeah.
But once you get home, it's like that bat's flying, motherfucker. I don't have to worry about you're gonna get my references. Now I just have to worry that my references are 2 old man references, but at least they come from the fucking country I'll be playing in.
Hey, we're gonna go to one more break, and then we can do some final thoughts, and then
Yeah.
you'll be home
Okay.
in a couple of gigs. So please hold, right?
Please hold.
Hey Stanhope, this is your two favorite nieces of Norman and a Whiskey Girl.
I opened an Etsy shop to sell the last of Amy and Derek's Children of Fortune CDs.
We're just kids, but it seems like physical CDs are at their peak of popularity right now, so hopefully this will be a huge success.
They cost $15 teeny tiny dollars, and you can buy them on Etsy by finding my shop, Children of Fortune, or searching No Man and a Whiskey Girl CDs on Etsy.
We are so lucky that you have a TV show or whatever so that you can tell all your friends. We'll let you know next time we set up a lemonade stand.
Thanks, bye!
Later, dude!
And again,
What?
bottoms up.
What was that?
It was one glass.
Is it? Is
that?
it? Are you
No.
drinking wine or?
Okay. No, Jesus. No, that, by the way,
Apple
that's
juice?
one of the great, again, I don't, should I save this for the pod? I should save this.
We're back.
We are
Whoa!
back. We've been back.
So one of the great things about the weed, which I know from hometown consumption, is that if you get kind of high enough or suitably detached from your circumstances, you don't feel the need to imbibe as much. And like, I don't think I've been on a tour with Doug. What are we now, like 10 days in? And we've had between us like 2 hangover days, because
Yeah.
they're brutal, the hangover days.
And I'm fucking sleeping so well. Like sleeping till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And mostly I've been really good about breakfast. I've only missed a couple when breakfast is attached to the hotel.
Yeah.
But I've gotten up, gone down, eaten, and gone right back to bed and slept for 3 more hours. And the travel has been easy. Fucking love the train over here. We had our own train car today, basically. Like we got a first class seats, and then this car had like an overflow room, like it's sectioned off where you go. It's a dead end car, so there's only like 13 seats in it, and then it goes to the conductor. And we had that all to ourselves today.
Yeah. And then at the very end, this old fuck comes in, and both of us are like, I think we should ask to see his ticket.
On your private car.
Yeah, it's like,
he
yeah.
showed up like 20 minutes after the last time we had stopped anywhere. So he just thought he was sneaking into a fucking empty room.
Into your car.
Just all he did was ruin our time.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes.
Yeah, big deal. So let's see. You've got you got Birmingham tonight, and then you're taking a flight to Scotland.
Glasgow Legendary. Hopefully
Yeah.
they're fucking. Hey, if Manchester can be cool, I bet fucking Glasgow can be cool.
Uh-oh.
It is a weekend, but so is Dublin. And then it's Leeds, and Bath is fucking adorable, and we always close there. And then we have 2 days off, so I have the Sunday off. I can watch late night football, whatever they show here. I'll have that night off, and the next night, and then fucking flying home after the Bath gig. And you said you got a hotel for.
Yeah, we're all set. We'll be there early on the 28th, and you don't get in till late, so we'll get some shit done.
Anything else on our list, Brian? Any other stories?
No, we have covered. You mentioned Dennis, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've covered everything.
All right.
And other than that one, that first London gig where you were too high on stage and you just read the room wrong. Everything's been going great.
Whoa. I think that's Doug being way too critical. Like, if we genuinely look at the Twitter and social media feedback, it was phenomenal. There were some people And I'd say there are people who didn't understand what a Doug Stanhope gig would be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, it was bad for me in that I was high to a point where I could not, like, skills I would normally have, like judging the volume of someone. Do I need to respond to some problem in the room, or should I plow past it? Stuff you'd normally just know instinctually. That's what I was missing because I was high. Just small things where I'm going, maybe I just fucking ignore that. I don't know. Way too big of a room to be fucking with high. But otherwise, yeah, I'm a quick fucking, I'm quick pickup on this.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you know, social media was not filled with people going, that was a terrible show. They were filled with people going, it was a fantastic show.
Great.
Okay.
I was just basing this on, just kind of recapping what Doug had said earlier. I don't look at social media and stuff like that. So
well,
once I read that lady, and I was in bed again, high. That was the night before a night off. Crawled into bed after eating more edibles with a cocktail, and once I just read the lady defending the heckler that he's right, I should have done the Queen jokes like he asked, and I had a week to write him. I go, now you're really like killing my buzz. If you really think, like, how fucking entitled does the audience feel now that he should have had Queen jokes prepared for this. It's not like I was hosting the Oscars and forget to fucking write jokes about the movie.
Hey, I do have one more question. The topic that's been coming up on the last leg of the tour in the US was we were kind of critiquing the green rooms, not having audio, not a back way to get in without going in through the audience to get to the green room, stuff like that. What have the green rooms been like over there in the UK?
Well, they're relics. These are fucking buildings from fucking 1692. So yeah, and even the fucking hotels, you like go through a hallway and then down 3 stairs and then through a fire door, and then you have a choice of 3 doors, and you go, which one did we come in? And then occasionally it might say reception this way, and you go down a few more stairs around another hallway to another 2 fire doors, and there's the lift that you went the wrong way and had to go to the whole. Yeah, everything sucks over here. There's elevators that are as small as the closet in the greenhouse. And the fun, I mean the
Little house.
Little house.
I'd say the big the major thing that we can do that is predictable is that I can comfortably tell every single venue that we're dealing with, whatever you thought of as a lot of ice is wrong. Like
You need to change your definition.
Their idea of a lot of ice is simply always wrong. And therefore a
Magner's glass. Will this be fine? They would literally give us a pint glass at the bar.
And the problem is that once you do that, because that can often genuinely be the only thing wrong. What happens is it's like Chinese whispers. And the gig last night in St. David's Hall in Cardiff, they were bringing like boatloads of ice every 20 minutes because they'd heard that there was some sort of Gestapo comedian who demanded
ice to
every
cool the body.
That's going to be the answer to our question at the fucking at a Heathrow, a fucking Hammersmith. They had a like party tub of ice where they had like 4 bottles of club soda and a bottle of vodka and glasses in it, and beside it a bigger garbage bag full of ice on a dressing room table. So it's just like slowly leaking out with the condensation and pouring into the chairs that are by it. And I'm like, wow, this whole ice thing, they're taking it. Are they being snarky?
At which point they're basically mocking us. They're mocking us.
Here's your bloody ice.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask Brian, why do you have any insight into why there's a kind of an ice desert, if you will, backstage?
No, but I would say that it wasn't until I moved to the States that I appreciated how great ice is and having a plentiful supply of it. Therefore, I genuinely think it's just forgive me.
You don't. There's no ice machines in hotels. I mean, if there are, it's very rare.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
go down to the front desk or the restaurant, and then they give you a tiny little fucking bucket with a sneer. Oh, before we just bitch about the ice forever like old men, we have to give the Glee Club
Yes.
a huge fucking props in Nottingham. Yeah, the Glee Club was saved our ass. We found out like a week and a half before this started that the promoter there had been selling
Oh, yeah.
tickets to a fucking gig that he didn't have the venue. So he's just selling tickets to this venue until some fan clued us into, hey, I called the venue. They say there's no such event going on. So go ahead, Brian.
No, you're right. You're entirely right. Like, and the Glee Club were fantastic. Their staff were fantastic. You know, they as Doug said on stage, they could have gouged us because they knew the predicament we're in, and they were actually incredibly accommodating.
And we at the last minute not only had to get a different venue, we had to get 2 nights at that venue because it didn't hold as many tickets as we sold.
you
So we
had
had
to
to do
split
2 nights
the
instead of
event.
1. But they fucking bailed us out in the last
Wow.
minute.
And by the way, if anyone wants to know, and again, you don't want to muddy the water too much, but I'll just say this. If you're thinking of getting into bed with Daryl from Just the Tonic, you should make sure he has all the things he says he has.
Wow.
Or just book it yourself.
Jeez.
By the way, Tracy, just want to
Yes.
say this. I've always said this about chicks, including you, necessarily. No makeup is a great look.
Thank you. Thank you. Rolling out of bed. That's good.
I always
Well-
like, yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think- No, I just think like so many girls I know or have known, they look great without makeup.
And Tracy looks great in the morning too. She
Hey,
looks good
what?
haggard.
A good
going-
haggard. Thanks.
Well, you guys got gigs tonight. Well, you got 4 left. And
Yeah, gig
we'll
tonight,
see-
cereal bowl, edible crumbles for breakfast, high flight to Glasgow. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. The fucking flight from
Oh my
Just-
God!
under an hour, the flight from Dublin to Nottingham
Oh, right.
had a choice of fucking breakfast sandwiches, different kinds that were great. A 50-minute flight on a shit fucking, Spirit
Ryanair?
Airline kind of. Yeah, no, it was Ryanair, and then we got cocktails, and then they brought out the old duty-free catalogs with all the shit you could buy duty-free and colognes and fucking Toblerone and I go, there's no way they're actually selling this shit. But I go, so I can buy this watch right now? And she goes, hang on. I came back with it. So I had to buy this watch because I thought I was calling her bluff. So I bought a fucking $100 watch, a Hugo Boss, and I'll probably.
The paninis they served on board were perfect. They were toasted wonderfully.
in a
And when they-
30-minute flight.
50-minute.
But I mean, by the time you get up to altitude, you're starting to come back down.
Yeah, they had the cart full of all the duty-free shit up and down. We didn't realize we could bring 4 liters of booze into the
Oh.
UK. So at the last minute, we bought fucking 3 more bottles of booze, a watch. We just finally got the booze down to 1, sneaky bottle, quart bottle, and that because we were fucking Sherpaing like loads of alcohol this entire time and mixers. Like we finally got it down to.
So the idea is that tomorrow, everyone assures us that. So that was Ryanair from Dublin to Nottingham, which is technically international. But everyone has assured us that EasyJet, which is a Ryanair equivalent from Birmingham to Glasgow, will be the same. So our goal, like true journalists, is going to be to document for American audiences what gets done in an incredibly short flight.
Sure.
You know.
All right. Show them up.
All right, Brian, bring down some of those cookie crumbs and let's eat a little bit of nibble and let's go down and eat some more food at that restaurant because chicken wings don't really fill you up. It is what? It's 4:15.
I had twice as many chicken wings as you.
Yes, you did.
Wow, look at you two.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the pizza here. It says Chicago Town Pizzas, which means it's probably all fucking dough and no
Thick.
topping.
Yeah.
All right, we got problems. We're gonna work all this out. And then I'm gonna
Figure
do
it
my
out.
fucking show. And then I'm gonna do my show 2 more times. And then I'm gonna take, then football. Tonight, Browns
Right.
over the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hell yes.
Yeah, obviously.
Definitely.
Mhm. Enjoy, kids. Bingo, I know you're back there somewhere. Take us out of this.
Okay, bye-bye now.
I'm fighting for the home cause. There's no doubt that fucking Queen, who ruled relentlessly for fucking 96 years, and I don't want to be emotional. My Nana, she died and she wasn't even 96. She just had purple hands and like a monkey spot. A lot of times she had kids and they were turned into princesses and people and princes, and she just let. Oh, I'm going to let her get a little bit of the bug in my head and I'm going to die. But then everyone's sad. This is Queen. Everybody's crying their eyes out because you're dead. You're dead. You're just dead. And now I'm just living off of this.